Hi everybody, good morning. It's Lisa here. I'm actually coming to you from my balcony in South Carolina on the very last morning of our vacation before we travel back to Illinois this morning. So this is titled an update. So I don't know what my weight is today. I haven't been able to weigh for a week, which is really strange. So I won't weigh until tomorrow, and I am probably assured that I've probably gained a little bit of weight back just because while on vacation I have continued to make sure that I'm getting all my protein in and everything, but I have been absolutely indulging in things that I normally would not, and that's okay because it was planned to be that way. And when I get home, God, in the middle of the night, I'll be back on regular plan where I won't be having desserts and things of those nature. But so I wanted to update you guys on what's going on. Some of you know, some of you don't. But while here in South Carolina on Tuesday morning, I got up and everything was fine. We were planning on getting ready and taking the kids and going to breakfast, whatever. And my right hip replacement dislocated. And yeah, it was awful. I was in the bedroom, I was trying to put my shoes on, and how did it happen? Why did it happen? I have a lot of theories on the why it happened, and I can tell you how it happened, but mostly I'm just frustrated and completely disappointed about it. So just so you know, this is not the hip that I had operated on this past December. This is my other hip replacement. I think it's 5 years ago since I had the last revision on this hip, and a year after that surgery I had a dislocation in this hip, and it might have been actually even longer than that the dislocation happened, and that one happened when I was seated in a chair, and I reached down to do something with my toe and it came out. So this one, I was seated on the side of a bed and I brought my knee up and turned it out to put a shoe on. So what I mean by that is, I'll see if I can kind of explain it. So bring your knee up and go outward like this, okay? And then, you know, try to pull your shoe on. Well, that's a no-no for me with my hip replacements. Now, a lot of people with hip replacements can do things like that, but I cannot. I cannot because my hip sockets are deformed from a birth defect, so I don't have the same hip sockets as normal people. And all it takes, guys, is just that second. It just takes that second of doing something that you probably shouldn't do, and it comes out. So, I mean, people don't understand that I live my life constantly thinking about what's the right way to step, what's the right way to sit for me, what's the right way to do this for me. I mean, it's just a constant, and it is overwhelming at times, because now I'm also thinking about what's the right way to eat. I need to make sure I have my vitamins in, you know, so my brain is constantly on alert, and I let it go for a minute, and yeah, it was awful. It was awful. But at any rate, I did go to the emergency room. The ambulance had to come and take me out of the room, and spent a good 5 hours over in the ER in South Carolina. Very nice hospital, very handsome doctor. Thank God for that, right? They were able to put me under and relocate the hip, or it's called a reduction, non-surgically. And yeah, I have an appointment to follow up with my orthopedic surgeon on Monday morning. Now, why did it happen other than my birth defects and being tired and maybe doing the wrong thing? I did some things on this vacation that I'm proud of and probably shouldn't be now that I think about it. I went parasailing with my children, but the surf has been extremely strong while we've been here. And in order to get out to parasailing, it was quite a challenge, and I really felt like I was straining my hip, both my hips, out in the surf, trying to attempt to get onto one of those banana boats that took you out to the actual boat that you did the parasailing from. I mean, it was really a struggle. I actually wasn't certain that I was going to be able to do that, but I did. Probably shouldn't have. And we went parasailing, and I will tell you, I am thankful that I was able to do that, because guys, I never in a million years was thinking that I would ever be able to parasail with my children again, never be able to experience something like that with them. They'd never been parasailing. I was, back when I was like 22 maybe, I went one time. So yeah, so we did parasailing, but then I spent a lot of time in the ocean over the course of the first few days. And like I said, the waves were super strong. There were several times I was knocked over, and could absolutely feel a strain in my right hip, and I should have known better. You know, starting to think that I'm invincible maybe a little bit, and I needed to have a little reality check. So yeah, so it blows. It absolutely is not what I wanted to be happening when I was on vacation. Now, it has sidelined us a little bit. Not too bad. I'm trying to see if you can see the ocean and stuff here. There you go. I was released on crutches and a leg immobilizer. I did keep the leg immobilizer on for about the first 24 hours and then took it off. I've never been placed in a leg immobilizer from a hip dislocation, so I found that unusual, and I also found that I could keep my leg pretty much in the positions that I need to have it in order to assure, you know, not another dislocation. I'm following all my hip precautions. When I get home, I'm unfortunately going to have to be back on the cane for safety's sake. But, you know, it's a stepping stone. It's not going to be permanent. But yeah, so I'm bummed out. I've probably done some stress eating for sure the last few days, and some depression eating. I'm aware of it. Doesn't make it okay, but at least I'm aware of it. Other than that, guys, though, we really have had a great vacation. I know that's a big cruddy thing, but you know, I'm thankful that I got to spend this time with the family and the kids, and not looking forward to probably an 18.5 hours in the car starting here in just a couple hours. That's, you know, the least favorite part of this vacation is that trek in the car. But we'll get through that. And a busy weekend planned. My niece is graduating, or has graduated from high school, so of course the day that we're getting home at, like, you know, 4, 5, 6 a.m. we have a graduation party to go to later on that day. So we're all gonna sleep for a little while, get dressed, shower, and go. I have been trying to keep up with videos as best as possible, and messages and things like that here on vacation, but we've had some very, very sketchy Wi-Fi connections, and when we're not connected to Wi-Fi in the hotel, we absolutely have no service out here. It's the strangest thing. It's almost as if Sprint has decided that South Carolina is a no reception state. It is the strangest thing, but at any rate, like, I can't even get phone calls out most of the time. Very weird. But yeah, so that's what's going on. I will update everybody with a weigh-in next week. I'm not really sure what week that'll be, but I actually have an appointment also on Monday with my bariatric surgeon for a follow-up, and also to talk about his idea of I can't say it, whatever, the pannus removal. So I will check in with you guys next week. Thank you to all of you who have messaged me and checked in on me. I really do appreciate it. I'm sorry that I've been so out of pocket, so to speak. I just really, between the spotty service and all of that's been going on, and actually being on vacation with my family, I just am trying to stay away from the phone as much as possible. So I will check in with you guys soon. Bye guys, see you next week.